Welcome to the Hunt360 podcast. We're here in Salt Lake City, Utah at the Western Hunting Expo. I'm Ether King. I'm here with founder of Hunt360, Jeremy Williams, and we've got a special guest, Mike Lauder, here from the Mule Deer Foundation. Mike, how you doing?
Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me. I'm doing great. It's
Awesome.
good to be in Salt Lake.
Well, Mike, it's great to have you here, and I'm excited to learn all about you and what everything about the Mule Deer Foundation.
Great.
This is a great show that you're hosting, and I love coming here. It's just a great atmosphere, and I hope I encourage all our listeners to come to this show at some point if they ever get a chance.
Absolutely. You get this many people, like-minded people in the same place at the same time, it's bound to be a good time. I mean, it's everybody, they're here, that passionate about the outdoors and hunting and the shooting sports. That's the place to be.
Yeah, so it's like somebody else had told me one time, it's like an equalizer. Everybody's equal when it comes in, they come in this door or getting around one another hunting, and everybody's sort of, it don't matter if you're a CEO of a $100 million company or if you're just getting through, you're all equal. Everybody has something in common to talk about.
Absolutely. It's very easy to make friends here.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about you, where you come from, and a little bit about your background.
I can do that. I grew up, born and raised in northern Utah. Come from a family hunting background where everybody went out when it was opening day of deer season, and had the orange jackets on, and everybody camped together, and everybody went together, and that was the environment in which I grew up and learned about the outdoors in. I had a father that was very passionate about the outdoors and took me at a very young age and instilled in me the love of wildlife and protecting what we get to share. So I fast forward, I got married to a woman that loves the outdoors, and she started to go hunting with me as well, and I raised my kids the same way I was raised. I have two daughters that are both archers, love to bow hunt, and they've been very successful. One shot a really nice deer a year ago, and the other one shot an elk with a rifle. So, I mean, and they have the same passion and enthusiasm about the outdoors as I do. It's funny when I hear them talk to their friends, and I think about times in which I shared stories with them about how important it is to do the right thing and be, a law-abiding, ethical sportsman, and I hear them sharing that, then you're doing your job as a parent, in my opinion, because you're truly passing it on. You're passing on that passion for the outdoors. So. And then fast forward again a few more years, I got involved as a volunteer on a local Mule Deer Foundation chapter. It was the Ogden chapter at the time, and I volunteered there for 2 or 3 years and became the chapter chairman, then a state chairman, all volunteer positions. And the organization approached me about going to work for them. And at the time, I was a soccer dad, and I had a lot of irons in the fire, and I turned them down 4 times, and they asked me 5, and that was 15 years ago this April 1st. I was regional director for Utah for 11, 12 years, and more recently I've been the director of field operations, and I manage 13 regional directors nationwide, responsible for all the fundraising that goes on in the Mule Deer Foundation. So.
Awesome. And it's just a great sacrifice for your passion to do what you're doing.
Labor of love.
Yeah, I understand exactly. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what all the Mule Deer Foundation does. I mean,
sure. We're a volunteer-based organization. We wouldn't even exist if it weren't for the volunteer, for passionate individuals that love the outdoors, and especially mule deer, the icon of the West.
Yep.
We generally, a regional director will show up in a community that we're trying to develop maybe there's a need for a habitat project, and maybe there's a guy like you and me that live in that town. And he makes contact with us about holding a fundraising event, and they're family-friendly fundraising events. A raffle, live auction, there's a dinner, and the proceeds from those events are then, like you and I talked about earlier, are then allocated to habitat projects throughout the state. So as you can't spend what you don't make, and so you have to have a fundraising engine on the front end to pay for the habitat restoration on the back end. So they're just average guys. They're like you and I. Us three were sitting together, and we were approached about raising money for mule deer. You know a place to have it. You know the auctioneer, and I know the caterer. We get together and we sell some tickets to our friends and family and coworkers, and we raise some money for mule deer. And those like-minded individuals come and dig into their pockets and of their limited resources and support an animal like mule deer.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a great cause. I love mule deer. I know E3 got his first experience of going on a mule deer hunt with me and my son this year.
That's great.
And it was I love mule deer. I mean, it's just a great animal to hunt, a great animal to watch. They're just very impressive.
They are, for sure.
But So I know you brought some paperwork here, and
We did.
And I asked you to because this is very informative information. Because everybody, just like you said, they want to know where the money goes.
First question out of their mouth. The first thing that happens is somebody shows up to your banquet and says, "The money you generate here, what happens to that?" Well, we took it one step forward. We're 55,000 people are going to walk through this show in the next couple days. We wanted to be able to show them where the money went, as opposed to telling them they can't take that home with them. So we printed these state by state, basically tally sheets that show money generated in each of these states, all states in which mule deer reside, and habitat projects are being done to support, habitat, fire restoration, guzzlers, water, everything under the sun. And we had them state by state, and we were giving out people that'd like to look at them. You've seen our booth over there with all the boards of all the states there and how much money we've generated and spent in each state. It's a good thing. As a conservation group or any nonprofit, I think where does the money go, but also being efficient with what you do raise. We're 89% efficient. That's not our determination. The IRS tells us that. When you're 89%, that's 89 cents of every dollar hits the dirt or hits mission statement, goes to mission accomplishment, I believe is how it reads. That's pretty important. I mean, there's a lot bigger groups and a lot more well-known groups that aren't that efficient. So we're proud of that.
Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at California. I mean, there's probably 15 maybe projects here in 2019. It's got the locations, the funds, the acres that's been dedicated, the amounts. I mean, there's over $7 million.
It's a full circle deal too. These guys that volunteer to help raise the money, oftentimes those are the people in these photos that get to go out on the ground, help with the guzzlers, spend a weekend with their family, passing on the tradition and giving something back by allowing their kids to go plant bitterbrush and sagebrush and serviceberry for mule deer on winter range. I mean, you go out to these projects, there'll be 30, 40, not only volunteers that maybe help put on the banquet, but those that attended the banquet can sign up sheet and go out and help on the ground projects.
Yeah, so it's not all about a financial contribution all the time, too. It almost comes full circle.
That's a good point. That's right. It is. It does go full circle, and you can give of your time.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think not only that, you're building a tradition when you got, just like you were raised hunting with your family.
Yeah.
Those people are taking their kids out doing these projects, volunteering, they'll bring that
giving
onto
of
their
yourself for a cause.
Yeah, they'll bring that onto their own children as time goes on as well, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, these are just awesome. I think. Do you have these on your website as well?
I don't. This is brand new for this show. We just put this together over the last couple of weeks. It may not be on the website. If you want, I can leave these with you.
Yeah.
Or we can email you the graphics. Would probably be easier for you if we emailed you the graphics.
No, this is awesome. I mean, I would just think
it's every state. I mean, and the cool thing is, as Jeremy's flipping through them, there's North Dakota, there's Texas, there's California, there's Arizona, there's Nevada, there's Oregon. I mean, it's really neat to see the impact. And I think that's one thing that most people don't understand. You can make a difference. Yeah. You can't make a difference if you sit home and don't involve yourself in a cause. Whatever it is that you love, get involved in that. So often I'm approached at these shows, Jeremy, and as we talk, and people say, "What are you doing for me?" And I always want to say, "What are you doing for you?" Because I can show you this, and that's going to be on my headstone when I go out of this world. Is what are you doing for you? What are you doing for your opportunities? What are you doing for your children? What are you doing for the species? This is what we're doing. But what is an individual? Get involved. Go to our website. Go to muledeer.org. Click on a button on a banquet near you. If there's not one near you, contact me. We'll get you an RD. We'll get you out there raising some money and doing mule deer projects. I'm passionate about this organization. I'm passionate about mule deer. I just like to see people that love to hunt mule deer be involved with our organization.
Yeah, I can see your passion in.
I get excited, don't I, Jerry?
Oh yeah, you get. I mean, these also. I mean, I love the pictures. I mean, you got pictures of the projects happening on these water projects, the restoration, the grass and solar panels. I guess the solar panels for the
guzzlers.
Well.
Yeah, for the wells.
I mean,
I like that saying though. What are you doing for you?
Right. Because so often we're asked that as a conservation group, what are you doing for me? Well, are you a member? No. Well, have you been to a banquet or have you bought a raffle ticket? No. Then what are you doing for you? Yeah. Because there's what we're doing. So
I like that.
Yeah, that is. I've never heard anybody put those words like that. That really that hits you.
It is. It's something that I get excited. We can make a difference. I've been on more projects than I can even remember to tell you about. And you're going to let's say you take a weekend and you got 30 volunteers and you're planting 3,000 bitter brush plants or serviceberry. It's a very palatable, high protein winter food source for mule deer. And every plant that you carry up that hill in your mind, you think can be the difference between a mule deer making it or not,
right?
In a tough winter condition. So literally, as you have these plants that you've earned the money for and have purchased and are delivered on site, now your friends and family are carrying them up a hill, putting them in the ground in hopes that someday they feed our wintering mule deer. You can make a difference. You can do something for you and for wildlife.
Yeah, every bit of it makes a difference.
Well, and somebody like us from Georgia, as we spoke about earlier, there's not mule deer in Georgia.
Right.
Jeremy and myself have both hunted and harvested mule deer and enjoy doing that. How does somebody in our area contribute and get involved with y'all?
It's as easy as going to our website, to muledeer.org, and there's a real easy search engine. You just click on a banquet near you, and if there's not one, I'm the director of field operations. You can send me an email. My link, my stuff, all my contact information is on there. They can reach out to me, and I'll have somebody follow up with you guys or whomever would like to start a chapter. It's a simple process. We get you in contact with someone and plan a date and a venue and raise money for mule deer. In the past, in Atlanta, we brought money from Atlanta went to Nevada and Montana and all these places that mule deer needed help. So,
yeah, the East Coast is full of mule deer hunters. And,
absolutely.
Everybody just goes and go hunts. But more and more, putting money back, like you say, what can I do for myself and my children?
Sure.
Is definitely a way to go. But these really hit me because I've always been a skeptic. Maybe not skeptic, but I've always wanted to know where's the money go? Where's what's happening? And when you see it, when you actually can see the pictures of what's happening, that makes a difference. It really does. And more and more organizations are doing that now. I see.
Well, with the advances in technology and the social media, and I don't think for the longest time we did a very good job telling our story.
Right.
And over the last 4 or 5 years, let's say, the outdoor celebrities have taken notice of who we are, and they've stood behind us and got involved with our organization and maybe brought some awareness to what we do. And I think we do a better job now, or have maybe a better tool to share what we do than we did in the past, with the pictures and graphics. And these are all just sheets with the numbers on them. So it's cool to be able to bring that to people and have them maybe open their eyes a little wider and go, wow, that's kind of a neat concept. So
yeah, the amount that's being raised is just very cool to see. I know, of course, it's all about our natural resources, not just the mule deer. Just think about all the other wildlife.
Birds, when you do a guzzler, it doesn't say mule deer only.
Yeah.
Everybody that needs water drinks from that hole, right? So. Yeah.
So it goes to everything. Even the grass. Any kind of project you do helps all wildlife and conservation. Either from erosion control to all types of stuff. Yeah. So it's just it's just great for the environment all the way around, all our natural resources as well. So, what about being a member? So tell people, I know you can go to the website.
Yep, the easiest way is the website or attend a local event. But in you guys' case, you're in Georgia and we don't have an event there right now. But you can go on our website, www.muledeer.org, and sign up and pay for your membership. They have 1, 3, and 5 year. You can be a lifetime member. $1,000 gets you a nice jacket and all the good stuff that goes with that, and a lifetime membership to magazine. It's a great publication. We've got a lot of great stories, a lot of how-to stuff in there, everything from recipes to habitat projects and hunting stories. So,
sweet. Tell you what, before I get done with this show, I will become a life member for you.
That'd be great.
It would be.
That'd be great.
This will be I believe in what you're doing, and when I can see what you have here, it makes me appreciate it.
That's great. We'd appreciate it. I'll sign you up.
So what kind of cool projects you got coming up?
Generally, we raise most of the money in the spring, that's the best time to do a lot of your plantings because the soil has to be moist. You don't want to. In summertime in Utah, we're a high desert climate,
right?
And so we don't get a lot of moisture in the summertime. So it's really better to plant spring or fall. So we'll for instance, we'll get a chapter, Weber Davis, just up the road from here. They've adopted a wildlife management area. It's owned by the Division of Wildlife, public land. Anybody can hunt it, and it's a wintering area for mule deer as well. and they've kind of adopted that. So the proceeds from their banquet, which is March 14th, they'll buy bitter brush and serviceberry, and they'll schedule the planting. So we've got that coming up. I think they're up to 10,000 plants it's called the Middle Fork WMA. 10,000 plants in there helping wintering mule deer. All the chapters are doing. We got the ladies banquet on Friday here, which is at the kind of the expo, ladies expo banquet, and they've chose a project. They're going to be doing guzzlers and water catchments and things for mule deer just south of here, and all the proceeds from the ladies banquet from here are going to do that. So those are some of the exciting ones that are coming up right around the corner, but they're going on in Montana, Idaho. They're going on everywhere.
That's awesome.
We're doing really well.
It's cool. Do you have any getting good stories to say about the kind of mule deer hunts? Or
I just think that the passion that people have for mule deer and the camaraderie and the family atmosphere, and take your kids hunting, take them out there, introduce them to the outdoors, teach them the right way to do things, have them pass it on to their kids. There's so many people that want to take our hunting rights and want to influence how we do things in our states. Just get involved. Do something for you. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, get involved.
Yeah.
Join a group, and maybe it's not deer, maybe it's fish. Join a fish group. Vet them and make sure that they're putting their money where it's supposed to go. But if it's upland game or waterfowl, whatever your thing is, go do something for you. It would be my message to anybody that's a sportsman that hasn't. He sits back and can critique the state game agencies on how wildlife are managed, but has never been to a public meeting.
Yeah.
Attend your state meetings. Give it your opinion. It matters.
It does matter. And everybody thinks that they're just a little small pea, but there's not a lot of small beings speaking up. Right. So when you do speak up, it matters. It does matter. It means something.
It does.
So
it does.
It's exciting. I know. You got any? You said you got 2 daughters. You got any grandkids yet?
I've got one due the end of March, and I'm going to be a grandpa by the end of March. She was 6 weeks out. She's actually here at the show. She's a bow shooter. Both those girls of mine love to shoot the bow, and I do too. I kind of evolved. I think you do with anything. You started as a kid. I shot with a rifle, and then I thought, well, I'll try a muzzleloader. And then I did that. And then I've kind of fallen in love with this whole archery thing. And it's the most frustrating, crappy sport I've ever participated in. And I buy a tag every year, and I spend more money than I should. And I go out and spend a lot of time in the woods, and I wouldn't do anything different. I love it.
No, that's exciting, though. I mean, it is. It's money well spent, honestly.
It is. There's other addictions. This one's a good one.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, not only that, just think about all your kids that are involved in it. I mean, yeah, it's expensive, but the alternatives are a whole lot more expensive to fix.
Absolutely.
There's usually ain't a lot going wrong, if you're in outdoors.
Well, there's so much to be said for a hunting trip. Even take the hunting out of it.
Yep.
It's the campfire or the cooking the dinner at the night. The getting ready to go in the morning, or even the lazy afternoons, and things of that nature. Just being with your family without the outside influence of technology and TV and other distractions. It really draws a family close together to have the opportunity to be in the outdoors.
Yeah, not just your family, even your friends. You take another child, take your child, your child's friend.
Be an ambassador for your sport.
Yeah, it'll just help open eyes to others.
It is.
We do have hunters are great. And we do have a war on our hands.
And a responsibility to represent what we do in a positive light.
Yes, exactly. Be respectful for the game and yourself, and post all your pictures in a clean way.
Absolutely.
And it just does good. A lot of people hate social media, but honestly, it can be a great effective tool if it's treated respectively and properly. But,
sure.
Yeah, man, it's been awesome sitting here talking with you.
I've enjoyed it.
I'm excited about becoming a member of Mule Deer. I've never been a member. I've come to the show all the time, but I've never signed up to be a member.
Well, good. But we're glad to have you.
I will before the show's over.
Sounds good.
It's exciting to be a part of it since I've met you and understand what all is happening.
Great.
As well, and I love being here at the booth as well. And we have a great booth, and it's just we've got great neighbors here.
Sure.
Everybody sort of gets along and loves one another here.
It is. It's the camaraderie, like we talked about early in the discussion. The camaraderie between like-minded people, it's pretty easy. You and I met, I don't know, an hour or two ago, and I already feel like I could call you up and say, hey, let's go grab lunch. That's the kind of people that support wildlife and the outdoors. So
exactly. So I know we can find you on the muledeer.org.
Yep.
And muledeerfoundation.org, right?
Yep.
And then also we have you on the Hunt360 site as well, so any of the members can find and follow you on the Hunt360 site.
Very good.
And be sure to go to the website and become a member. It's definitely even if it's just 1 year at a time. It's every dollar is spent wisely. So
very good.
I know it would be very much appreciated for
absolutely
for the Mule Deer Foundation.
Very good.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me get excited about mule deer and talk to somebody about it for a minute. I enjoy it immensely.
Yeah, I can't wait. Maybe we'll do it again next year. We'll have some more updates about the projects you did this year for next year, and I'm excited about having you back on the show next year.
Let's do it.
So
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
It was great meeting you, and
great meeting you guys. Thank you for having me.
Yep.